Well, hello everyone, it's Rick Bassick, Fly Fish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today I will be tying a small little river nymph. I'm starting a little river nymph series. I've got a whole bunch of different patterns saved on my phone, and I asked my wife to go and pick 5, and she picked 5 nymphs. So here we go. So that's what I'm going to start with is that. So, alrighty. Hope you enjoy the video. Let's get tying. All right, so in the vise today, we have an Ahrex FW 550 in a size 10. Tie these in a 10 and a 12. As I said, this is the start of or I'm not sure where this one's going to be in the series, but it's a part of the River Nymph series. So in the vise, on the hook, geez, I've got a 1/8 tungsten slotted bead for a jig head bead in a chartreuse. I'm using 12-aught Nanosilk in white. If you've got green, I ran out. I'm waiting for my next shipment. So if you've got green Nanosilk, use that. Olive green. And then just come back forward. I like having a full coat on my my hook. Okay, then I'm going to take some of the pheasant tail rump dyed orange, dyed green, not orange. And I'm going to grab one of these feathers, and I'm going to use one side. First off, taking off the marabou or the fluff, getting rid of that, just so it's out of the way. And then here, I'm going to grab 3 or 4 of these fibers, these tail fibers, and try to make sure they're fairly lined up. Don't have to be crazy. About the length of the shank past, so about there past, so that on. And I like going under my tails and back over. Okay. And use a 12 or an 18-aught Nanosilk for this. You want it fairly thin, just because you're going to be going back and forth a few times. So you don't want too heavy of a body here. Now, for the rib, I was using the Hen's Flexi Floss, but I find that it gets broken quite easily from the fish. So I actually changed over to using some really small 0.1 wire. You can do this in silver or red or green or whatever you've got. In this one, I'm going to be doing red. You won't really see it because it's going to get kind of buried into the Peacock Hearl anyway. So I'm going to come all the way back, right where I was there. Keep that out of the way. And just open wraps, come back. Now I'm going to grab my Peacock Hearl. Now I do this with Peacock Hearl and I do it with Peacock dubbing. Especially Hen's has an amazing Peacock dubbing. So 1, 2, 4. So I grabbed 4 pieces, just lining up the tips, just kind of close. And I'm going to actually tie it in by the tips. Okay, just get that in there. And then just come on all the way back to where you tied in that tail. Try not to go too far past it, just because you don't want to push that tail down. Okay. Okay, built up just a bit of a body there. And then I'm just going to tie that off and just try to hold that out of my way a bit. Don't want to cut it off. Okay, and then, counter wrap. So this rib is more just to hold the peacock in place, the Hearl. Okay, now I'm going to take this whole pile, including that red, get it out of the way, helicopter that off. It's really easy. It's only 0.1. Even the 0.2 is pretty easy. Okay, now I take a piece of, this is lateral scale. Say how wide this one is. I think it's the large, so it's fairly wide. And I'll tie this in right at the front, and I want to make sure that this stays up on top. So if it doesn't stay on top, loosen it off. And even if you have to give it a bit of a turn, this is going to be your shell back. So, okay. Now I'm going to take my Hearl. I'm going to even go back over this and then back again, making just a little bit bigger up front. Not a whole lot, just a little bit bigger. Create a bit of a taper. Nip that off. Okay. Now, one feather. Strip off the fluff, the marabou. Get it out of your way. Then I'm going to take my renomed fine tip scissors here. I'll show you in a minute because it's hard to do on camera. I'll try to do it on camera, but and just go in there and just take that middle out so you end up with a V. You can, hopefully that'll still work. So I just broke it off in my finger there. Now I just want to like that a little bit, and then I'm just going to hold it on either side. Just make sure, especially my side, that my side goes down, and it did not. So I'm going to undo. I may have to, I'm just going to grab a different feather because I cut that one a little on the tight side. So that one I'll do right there. Same process. When I stripped off the marabou, I broke the stem, just like I did again. This is an old cape, so try this again. It can be a little difficult to get this in there because of the jig head wants to force it out. So, okay. Nip that off. Now I'm going to make sure that those legs, because that's what these are representing, are splayed. And then I'm going to take my lateral scale and make a quick little shell back. Get my whip finishing tool. Just a bit of a whip finish. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a drop. Maybe I am. At least there it is. A drop of the Semperfli no-tack UV resin. And literally a drop, a small little drop right in that shell back. Just want to protect that shell back, and you'll see in a second, I want to push those legs down. So when I'm curing this, I'm going to make sure that my legs are down. And this one actually got some of the UV resin on the legs. So let me see if I can get some of that and break that apart. Wipe that off if I can. And just make sure those legs are down and hit it with your UV light. You don't want a ton of the legs, just a little bit. So like 2-3 little strands. That's it. So that one could have turned out a little bit better, just a tiny bit, but this will fish just as well. So just gonna try and see. Yeah. So that was not absolutely perfect, but it'll fish. It'll fish well. You want more of anything, the silhouette. I'm going to put one in that I did just prior to the video. I'll show you. So that's about what you'd like to see. It's like that. The only thing here is it'd be nice to have just a little bit of the green thread showing at the front on this one, but that's what you want. You want just a little bit of a V. And that's it. So, alrighty. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you did, thumbs up. If you've subscribed, awesome. If you haven't, please consider doing so. I will see you guys on the next time video.